Thank you, Emma. Good afternoon and welcome participants and distinguished guests. Thank you for being here at the University of Toronto. It's good to see many familiar and new faces gathered to discuss the theme of science and social responsibility in the context of the nuclear age. I wish you all an excellent conference. Before going further, though, I would like to acknowledge the inspiration and organizational energy of the conference facilitator, Emma Hansen. Facilitator is a very modest word, so. Emma, who's in her second year of undergraduate study in the Physics and Philosophy Specialist program here at the University of Toronto, needs to be congratulated on coming up with this idea and on pulling together the resources and speakers that went into today's meeting. I want you to know that the Department of Physics really appreciates the opportunity you've created here to engage in dialogue in this critical topic of nuclear science and social responsibility. When, as we must often do, we fear science, we really fear ourselves. Human dignity is better served by embracing knowledge. These words were the words of today's keynote speaker in accepting the 1986 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, which was awarded for joint pioneering work in reaction dynamics. These words juxtapose the risk inherent in scientific discovery with the potential for science to enrich human thought and well-being. It is this balance required by the scientific pursuit between fear and insecurity on the one hand and knowledge and dignity on the other that brings you here today. These words demonstrate how fitting it is that today's conference is named in honor of today's keynote speaker, Professor John Polanyi. As you can consult the biographies in your booklet, but just to review, he was educated at Manchester University, England, and was a postdoctoral fellow at Princeton University and at the National Research Council of Canada. He's been a longtime colleague here in the Department of Chemistry at the University of Toronto, a member of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada, and a companion of the Order of Canada. The themes of today's conference reflect Professor Polanyi's lifetime of service in the area of peace and social responsibility. He was the founding chair, as we've heard, of the Canadian Pugwash Group in 1960 and has written extensively on peacekeeping and human rights and, closer to today's topics, on science policy and the control of armaments. John, we look forward to hearing your remarks entitled Reflections on the Responsibility of a Scientist to Science and Society. Fellow participants, please join me in welcoming Professor Polanyi.